Bang& Body, who created this lip balm, are genius. They are genius, and I'm obsessed. They have this metal tip, and it is so satisfying. It's like this metal, and it just glides on your lips. It's like very soothing and very satisfying. But what I wanted to talk to today is how this is an interesting one. I've been feeling on YouTube that I'm like, this is not my best work. This is not the greatest thing I've ever created. But I was reflecting back to, when I was initially building on Instagram and the content I was creating, and I was like, that wasn't my best work either. But I was getting into a rhythm of like posting every day and showing up every day, and that took time and energy. And I wasn't trying to be great. I was just finding my voice and I was just articulating my voice. And it's kind of what this whole experience posting 30 videos in 30 days, I'm still going, has really taught me. I'm not trying to create the best work of my life. That's not my intention. You can tell by the quality of this. This is not my greatest work. But at the moment, I'm not trying to be great. I'm not trying to get millions of views. It's actually quite nice to have not a lot of views at the moment because it's just like I'm just strengthening a new skill set. Like I don't think it's not necessary to have a lot of people looking right now because it's not my best. Whereas Instagram, on the other hand, I'm like here for it. I'm like, that's great work. I love what I put out on there. It's extremely like the intentionality I have with my brand over there is incredible. But that didn't just happen overnight. That has been day after day, iteration after iteration, showing up, showing up. And it's the same in business. There are times where I look back and I'm like, wow, like, would I redo that program? Maybe. But other times I'm like, I was just strengthening my voice and how I articulated things, and I've gotten better and better and better and better and better and better and better. And so many people, they don't create anything because they're trying to be this extraordinary version of themselves. And it's like, you actually need to start and be ordinary. You need to start and let yourself just start writing and let yourself start speaking and let yourself just create for the sake of creating because you're strengthening a skill set because you're not the greatest right now. And that's the entire point. And I've always been very proud of the way that I've led like that. It's like I've never needed to be great. I've always been someone that's like very willing to just go for it, very willing to start. You know, what even is great anyway? I think the greatest people in the world, I haven't been impressed by the editing style and how amazing it looks. It's who they are. It's their heart. It's the fact that they've just gotten better. It's the fact that they've stayed with one thing from day one. For me, it's been about ignition. It's been about bringing what lives within you to life. It's been about the spark, and my entire business was forged from that. My entire everything. And it's recently it's come very full circle, and it's been incredible to witness. But I see so many people that have just totally lost themselves in the process because they think that they need to be someone other than who they are. I've seen people totally lose their style and lose their voice and lose their conviction and lose their heart. And it's just like, it's just not required. Like it's actually just not required. And so let yourself go through these phases, and it's all cyclical. Like I'm experiencing this right now on YouTube, but then in other areas of my life, I'm like, that's great. Like I'm putting great stuff out there and it's amazing. And I'm so proud of that. But I'm also proud of this because I know I'll look back in 10 years time and be like, wow, like look at where I started. I had 37 subscribers. Thank you all for subscribing. But it's like, I actually am so detached to that right now. This is the work of my life. This is the work that I'll be doing forever. And I think if you can find something, like what is the thing that you want to build? What is the thing that you stay awake and you cannot not stop thinking about? Like it's the work of your life. If you can find that, you're so lucky. But if you find that, there's no rush. Like there is no rush to do this because no matter what you're in. And the only thing now is to move and to just be bad at the start and to fail forward and to start to forge your own path in whatever industry you're in. Greatness isn't just something you're born with. Greatness is who you become in the process of moving with everything that's alive inside of you. That's how you become great. You look at any story of great people, They weren't trying to be great. They became great through just moving. And so it's a cool thing to think about. And I've just really been reflecting off this this YouTube posting because it's been interesting to just observe myself of like, okay, like this isn't the best work ever, but it's just not about that right now. It's just about speak, open up the camera, say something. Say something. What are you contemplating? What's going on in your mind? What are some thoughts that you've been having? What are some things that you've been experiencing? Like that's really been my strategy. Nothing fancy. There's nothing fancy about what I'm doing. There's nothing special about what I'm doing, but I am just someone that's always willing to go for it and always willing to be a beginner and try something new. And I think like that, you never want to lose that. You never want to lose that. I could easily just stay on one platform and just do what I've always done, but it's like that's just so boring to me. And too many people get so comfortable in what they're doing, and it's like they never grow, they never evolve, they never expand. Everything starts to stagnate, everything starts to dilute and disperse. So notice where you're trying something new or you want to go do something, it's not going to be the greatest. And then there are going to be other times where you're going from like good to great, where you're going from ordinary to extraordinary, and you're like, okay, I've got this. Like, let's actually make this great. And you'll feel it in your body. You'll feel it in when you're like, okay, I've been doing the same thing, the same thing, the same thing. Let's switch things up a little notch. Let's change, let's pivot, let's realign, readapt, reimagine. Like, let's actually like bring to life this again. And you'll just have so many phases because eventually that thing that was so exciting will become the new normal, and it will become the thing that's now a standard. It's just now like what you do, it's just what you're known for, and then it'll be the time to go again and again and again. That's how we evolve, and that's how you actually start to forge entire new industries within the one that you're in. It's when your business explodes, it's when your whole thing blows up. Like that's how it works. So just don't judge yourself. I think a lot of people judge themselves when they're in these lulls and they're in these like building out consistency. And it's exactly what I'm experiencing right now. I'm like, this is just not the greatest work of my life, but I'm like, that's okay because it's not trying to be the greatest work of my life right now. I'm just building a skill set. I'm building conviction. I'm building articulation. I'm getting better and better and better. Slowly, 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 one video at a time, one move at a time, one edge at a time, one step at a time. That's what it's about. And I just know, I know, because I've done it again and again and again and again and again and again. If you keep going, if you keep moving, if you keep iterating, small moves, small adjustments, everything changes and everything and anything becomes possible. Something I say a lot is you can do anything, but you cannot do everything. And so I'm not trying to be great at a million different things. I just don't believe that's required, that I'm going to move on all the things that excite me because that's the work of my life and it's what makes me come alive, and why not?